What is up, Crew 78? As you can tell, I am, I'm out in my truck in my driveway. And that's because I've got a house full of sleeping kids and a sleeping wife, plus a little puppy that I'm just not going to wake up with my, obnoxious voice. So, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. And if not, well, my goodness, I hope I can help you fix that. This is the last week of the series FAM. So week 4, and hopefully you've been paying attention because, like I said, I think in every one of my other videos, they have some awesome stuff we can use for the rest of our lives, and they're just handing it out for free. Like they're handing you tools that you can use for the rest of your life. You know, stuff for every day. So, I'll get off my box here. We have your in-person meeting pretty much figured out. And that will be next Wednesday, which is the 21st of October. And, well, it's still a surprise on where it is, but what I can tell you is that it will not be at the church building. It's going to be somewhere we think is pretty sweet. So, pay attention to, these videos or your email or Facebook or the website, crew78.com, and we'll fill you on where exactly you're going to get to go and get to hang out and get to play around and get to have fun and get to see our ugly mugs and, just enjoy an actual in-person meeting. I am so excited to see you guys. So, on that note, tune in and let's watch week 4's video, and then we'll talk just a little bit afterwards, and I'll leave you alone. So.
No, Tamika. LOL does not mean lots of love. That's my best friend, Tamika. We've known each other since we were 10 years old, and we've been best friends ever since. She really feels like more of a sister to me. How many of you have a best friend who knows all about your secrets? Somebody you spend all your free time with. Somebody who lets you play all their video games first, or borrow your clothes before they even wear them. Somebody you can call when you're in trouble or feeling down. Somebody who sees your family fight. Somebody who helps themselves to the food in your house. Somebody who's on your family text thread. A friend like that? Well, sometimes they feel more like family, don't they? For the last few weeks, we've been in this series about family called FAM. And each week, we've spent time talking about different things about our families that impact our lives, for better or for worse. And while family is a really important thing to talk about, I know that for some of you, this whole series may feel a little off. You've been here for the last few weeks, and all you've thought about is the fact that your family situation is different. For some of you, this is because you feel like you don't have the kind of family everyone else has. Maybe you only have one parent in your life. Maybe your dad is a mess and you aren't allowed to see him, or your mom left and you have no idea where she is. Or maybe you're adopted, and even though that's awesome, you feel like it makes your family different. For others of you, you're struggling because the family you have isn't the family you want. You wish your mom didn't work all the time and that she spent more time with you, or that your dad would care a little bit more about what's going on in your life. Maybe you wish your older siblings weren't so mean, or maybe that you actually had siblings to begin with. Maybe your family is dealing with secrets people don't even know about, things like addiction, or abuse, or cheating, or divorce. And when you see families in your neighborhood, or go to your friends' houses, all you can think is, man, I wish my family was more like them. I kind of even wish they were my family. Or maybe you're struggling to talk about family because you don't have one. Sure, you come from a family of some kind, but for whatever reason, you're not with them anymore. Maybe your parents passed away when you were younger. Or maybe they got into trouble and they can't take care of you anymore. Or maybe you've never even met them at all. You've been in someone else's care for as long as you can remember. And because of any of those reasons, you live with an aunt and uncle, or grandparents, or neighbors, or foster parents, or friends. And even though you may have adults in your life who care about you, you still struggle because you know they aren't the fam you came from. They aren't the fam you thought you'd have, the kind everybody else seems to have. The truth is, talking about family can be hard because for so many of us, family doesn't look the way we thought it would look. We think other families are so perfect or so much better or have it all together, but for whatever reason, that's not the kind of family we got. And honestly, that can make us feel completely and totally alone. If you're feeling that way about your family situation right now, let me just stop and encourage you with this. You're not the only one. In fact, that's a feeling a lot of us felt about our families, not just today, but even thousands of years ago. In the Bible, there's actually a story about two guys who were dealing with complicated family situations that I think can help us here. These guys were named David and Jonathan. Neither of them had typical home lives. David didn't live with his family. He left them when he was called to work for Saul, the king of Israel. And who was Saul? Well, he was actually Jonathan's dad. As they lived and worked together, Jonathan and David became close friends. Now at first, this was no big deal because Saul, Jonathan's dad, loved David. But over time, things changed. As king, Saul wanted to be seen as the greatest, most powerful, and most beloved leader in Israel. But David's popularity started to grow. And to make matters worse, God actually appointed David to be the next king, a plan that Saul didn't love. As a result, Saul actually began to hate David, and I mean really hate him. So much so that Saul plotted to kill David. To save himself, David had to flee and go into hiding, narrowly avoiding being murdered by Saul a few times. See what I mean? Both Jonathan and David were in family situations they didn't necessarily want or expect. David lived apart from his family, and Jonathan was dealing with a dad who was actually trying to murder his best friend. That might be enough to leave both guys feeling completely and totally alone. But you know what? Because they had each other, they didn't feel alone. These two guys formed a friendship that was more like a brotherhood. They were the kind of friends who helped each other out, stuck with each other no matter what, and they protected each other. The kind of friends who became like fam, you know? Their friendship is described like this. And Jonathan made a solemn pact with David because he loved him as he loved himself. I love the story of David and Jonathan for a lot of reasons, but the main one is because I think it shows us this. Sometimes friends are more like family. Like I said, not all families look the same. And sometimes, like for Jonathan and David, you find yourself in a situation where other people in your life feel more like family than the people you're actually related to. Your friends, their parents, a coach, a teacher, your group leader, or even other members in your group. Sometimes God puts people in our lives to act like family. Maybe you don't realize this, but that's even a part of what we do each week here at church. We act as the family of God. We support and encourage each other because that's what God calls us to do. He created us to do life with each other like a family. Even when he was on earth, Jesus had friends who became like family. His disciples, his closest friends and followers became the people he did everything with. They were as close as family. And as believers, they became a part of the family of God. And it's the same thing God offers us. Whether this is the first time you've ever been here or you attend every single week, I want you to know that you have family here. People who will support, love, and encourage you. Maybe your family at home is awesome, or maybe your family doesn't look the way you hoped it would. Maybe you have no family at all. No matter what your situation is, you have this family, the family of God, to walk with you through this life. Because remember what I said earlier, sometimes friends are more like family. Maybe you're sitting here thinking, yes, totally. I know exactly who the people in my life are that love and treat me like family. I know who makes up my fam outside my family. If that's you, great. One of the best things you can do this week is to let that person or people know that you appreciate them. Send them a text, write them a note, or give them a shout out online. Thank them for making you feel like fam, and let them know that you want to do the same for them. You want to be their fam too. Or maybe you're sitting here thinking, that all sounds great, and I wish I had those people in my life, but honestly, I don't feel like I know who they are or where I'd find them. If that's you, then I'd say this. Bring more people into your circle. Think bigger than just the people that you're close to right now. Think about who else is speaking into your life. Someone you can trust. Maybe it's a teacher, coach, a friend's parent, or your group leader. Maybe there are a few people in your group you know you can lean on or trust to be your fam. Identify at least one person you know could be more like family and include them in more parts of your life. Spend time with them. Ask them to hang out. Open up to them about what's going on in your life. Psst. Your small group leader is a great person to invite. I promise you that it's worth it because bringing more people into your life will expand your fam. And sometimes friends are more like family. One of the best parts about following Jesus is that we gain a family. The church and your group become like a second home, a place where we can be safe, be heard, be known, and be loved. That's how God designed it to be. He knew that life wouldn't always be easy, that we would need each other. My hope is that your group will be that for you, a place where you can belong and be loved, a place where you find your fam. Because sometimes friends are more like family. Now, as you head to group, I want you to think about this question. Who is a friend in your life that could be a part of your fam? Oh, Tamika. She cracks me up.
Okay, guys. So before we move on, before we tie up the very ending of the series Fam, there's a few things that I would like to send you off with. Just like we talked about tonight or today, this evening, whatever you want to call it, family doesn't just have to be blood family. Family can be friends. Family can be youth groups. Family can be sports teams. Family can be, the group of neighborhood kids that you hang around. It doesn't have to be that you guys share the same parents or the same grandparents or the same aunt and uncle or however you want to put it. You don't have to live in the same house for them to be considered your family. Family is who you share that bond with. And that's what all these tools are that they're giving us are going to work with. So the people that are, close to you, the ones that are in your inner circle, those are the ones that you want to keep close and the ones you want to build with and the ones you want to grow your authentic relationship with Jesus with. That's what all this stuff is for, is to help your relationships with them to better your relationships with Jesus. So I hope some of it stuck. And there's one more thing that I'd like to send you off with. And I know they've said it in the couple previous weeks, but I wanted to remind you guys just for the sole fact of no matter what you're going through, no matter what emotion is in your head, whether it be, happy, sad, scared, anxious, nervous, no matter what, God is always with you. He's always there to help you. He's always there to comfort you. He's always there to guide you through these tough situations, to get you to a place where you need to be in life. So, not just, he's not going to leave you alone to deal with it yourself. He's going to put people in your life like your small group leaders or your pastors or your friends or your, teachers or all these people that you surround yourself with, your family, are there to help. And he's there to help you. And I just want to let you guys know that, you're never going to be without God's love and grace. So on that note, I'll do a reminder. The 21st of October, that's next Wednesday. It's an in-person meeting, and I don't want to see you guys miss it. So just be on the lookout for more information on where that's going to be. But it is going to happen. It is finally going to happen. So, as always, you guys are loved, and I cannot wait to see you. See ya.